Michael Nagy here with Jiggy Jag TV and DiscoveringBands.com. And for everyone watching, if you share this video on my channel and help support the awesome bands I feature. And today I'm here with Illusions of Grandeur. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. You're with one member of Illusions. Everybody else is MIA.
Well, it's great to have you.
Thank you.
I want to say your music really takes the listener on a journey, and I was wondering if you could tell the viewers more about that to start off.
The idea of the band when we formed it 5 years ago was to form a theatrical metal band. Maggie, the singer, and I were in a rock band touring around the country and doing some stuff in Europe, and we just felt like it was just straight up rock, which isn't bad, going to see like a band that just jams and does whatnot. But she has a background in theatrics and acting. So we decided we wanted to form something kind of completely new. We're not reinventing the wheel, but we decided we wanted to go like in the vein of like Alice Cooper and Kiss in this moment and kind of create something that was more of a theatrical metal. So we developed the band Illusions of Grandeur and the Siren, which is her character. So each member of the band has a character, and we wrote a story called the Siren Saga, which kind of is like a mix of Nordic and Greek mythology. And we split it up into 3 albums. So the first album came out in 2018 on Pavement, called The Songs of the Siren, kind of introduces you to the band and the storyline of the Siren. And now the album that's about to come out this October on Universal Music is called The Siren, and it's the second part of the Siren Saga. So when you're listening to it, it's the songs take you on this journey of the Siren and her band of men.
Well, I'd say it's amazing how your music has evolved over the short time, especially songs like The Voyage and then The Prophet you just released, totally different sounds.
We try and do we believe in trying to do as much as we can musically. Like The Prophet's heavy and fast and kind of more like a Metallica kind of thing for me anyway. And The Voyage is kind of like the softer side of it. I feel like people nowadays are the listeners are used to hearing bands be varied and do different things. So we like to kind of take them on a voyage. and some of it's metal, some of it's hard rock. And in the case of like The Voyage, it's more almost like an Enya type thing, a little softer, but it's still, it projects her voice and what the band is. It's not that far out of what we would normally do.
And for the Prophet video just being released a week ago, congratulations on so many views, 50,000 already.
Yeah, it's been really well received. We just signed a new record deal, and we just got a new management company, and we had all this extra power behind it this time around, because we have a pretty good core audience, and normally when we put out a brand new video, like we put out Crossing Over last October, it got like 10, 12,000, 15,000 views, and we're like, hey, that's awesome. And now we put out The Prophet, and it's like 50,000 views in like less than a week, and it's continuing to climb and get spread around the world. So it's been really cool. It's really neat to see all these different people that are discovering us now. So we feel really blessed.
And is the Prophet a good representation of how the rest of the album's going to sound when it comes out? It
is, yeah. There's a lot. On the first album, The Songs of the Siren, it was more of a hard rock album with some metal mixed in. On this album, we're going a little bit more into the metal and, bringing the hard rock and the metal into it a little bit more. The Prophet's a pretty good indication of where the album is.
And what made you go in that more metal direction?
Touring. We did extensive touring on the first album, and you see the audience's reaction. And the first album has a lot of soundscape and a lot of longer songs, and we love it and our fans love it, but we only have a couple songs in there like Silent Suicide and Breathe that kind of are a little shorter and a little more impactful, like right away. And there's nothing like paying attention to your audience and paying attention to what you're doing live. And when we came off that tour in 2019, we reassessed our songwriting and kind of shortened some things and made them more impactful. So we're learning as we go along and evolving as a band, which I think is important.
It's great to see the audience all moving around, jumping, all the energy too, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's we did some extensive touring in Europe on the Songs of the Siren tour, and we actually went to the Ukraine and toured, and that was really interesting because they're super passionate about the music, and they were a real great indicator. They don't even like speak English a lot, like 90%, but they were singing the lyrics back to us. So it was really cool. But we could watch the ebb and flow of the show as it began and moved, and yeah, it was really interesting to see, like, on the harder songs, people just went crazy. So we want more of that.
And for being, theatrical and stuff, you want to tell everyone a little about your live production for your show?
It's pretty intense. Well, if you're coming to an Illusion show, there's a chance of seizure. There's a lot of lights. I'm kidding, but now I'm not really. No, there's a lot of lights, a lot of smoke. The songs are kind of themed out where they're acted out a little bit. Not too much so that it overtakes a performance, but to a point that there's always something to watch visually. We take a lot of care to make sure when the show starts, it's a continuous show. So the songs flow into each other, and when there is a break in the action, something's happening. So it's almost like going to see like a play. The performance with, I don't want to say rock opera, but I'll say theatrical metal.
That's totally awesome to actually get a show performance out of it. Yeah.
We feel like if people are going to pay to come in and see us play, and especially in today's, market, and there's so much out there you can do. You can sit home and watch Netflix or Hulu, or, go see a major band at an arena or something. So when we're playing in a theater or something, we want to really bring it and make it worth the value. We were playing in our hometown here at Philadelphia at 2300 Arena, and we got one of the best compliments that I've received yet. The guy came up, and you can totally tell he was not into like metal or whatnot. He brought his kids, and he said, "You know what?" He's like, "I'm not really into this style of music." He's like, "But it was entertaining." He's like, "Even though I wasn't really into music, it was really cool to watch you guys, and the light show was great, and it was really interesting." So, it was cool for someone to totally be like, "I'm not really into your music, man, but I'd come see you play again because it was just entertaining."
I go to shows in Philadelphia all the time, and it's a great crowd of people there that people are really into it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great responsive crowd. Especially we're lucky enough that we get to play at the ECW home 2300 Arena. They usually have wrestling. So when we do concerts there, it's pretty cool. People pack in.
And do you have any live shows coming up?
We actually our singer just had surgery, and so she's resting for the remainder of the summer. So we start September 4th in Charleston, Virginia, and then from there we're through the South for a couple weeks. And so we're in Greensboro, North Carolina, we're in West Virginia, we're all the whole list will be posted very shortly. And then in December, we'll be back up through like New York and Connecticut. And then we're off for January, and then we head out to Europe to go back to England and France and hopefully Germany. Hopefully it opens back up. And then we're in the Ukraine as the summer begins. And we just got booked to play a festival in Russia. So we're going to play in Moscow, which is pretty interesting. So we feel like it's going to be a pretty comprehensive tour. But just, I think because of COVID, people are being a little bit cautious about the booking process. So while we're starting to get a lot of dates here in America, Europe's still slowly opening. So just stay tuned to iogmusic.com, and that'll have all our updates.
That's what I was going to say. Do you find it a little difficult trying to plan internationally now with everything that's going on?
Yeah, it's very difficult. And that's kind of like, that's our bread and butter. That's where we started playing, was in Europe. And not that we don't love playing in America, we do. It's just that European audiences like embraced us right away. Almost like, because I guess we fall a little bit into that Nightwish kind of range. And so our first tour over there in 2018, it was crazy. We thought we were going to be playing to half-empty bars and halls and whatnot there, and it was not sold out, but it was pretty full. We were really shocked and humbled by the experience. And then we went back in 2019, and it got even bigger and better. So yeah, we really wanted to get back to Europe, and COVID kind of put the squash on that, man. Especially, you know, we love playing in Germany, and Germany's it's closed. You know, they don't want us, not right now anyway. So we're hoping that things will get better, and you know, with the vaccine and whatnot, that we'll be able to get back over there and be able to announce some German shows in like maybe May. So because we'll probably be over May, June, and in July in Europe for about 3 months doing our tour. So, and the same thing with America. We're looking at some shows where we're going to be swinging out through Oklahoma and go to the West Coast. And that'll be the first time we've ever done that in the 5 years of the band. We've really only toured, funny enough, we've only really toured in Europe extensively. So it's going to be really cool to start to tour here in America a little bit more. And I think this album is going to open the door a little more for an American listener. So, you know, it'll be a good thing. And I just keep tuning the IOG music. That's where everything, all our Facebook, all our Twitter, all our stuff is there. We just constantly update that.
Awesome. Do you plan to release another single before the album comes out?
Yeah, there are no plans right now. The Prophet is kind of the last single before the album comes out in October. And that is also, we were doing it independently through Sony distribution. And now we've signed on with a new management company out of Canada, NORAD Music Group. And they kind of have really taken the reins and helped us. And now we're with Universal. So they want to plan a little bit more of a bigger release and an FM radio push and all that fun stuff that goes along with being with a bigger label. We've also begun working with, we normally produce ourselves, and we began working with David Ivory, who's a producer, works with Hailstorm and a bunch of different bands, and he just happens to be here in PA as well. So we kind of, as we're getting set to release this album, we kind of pulled the brake a little bit and reassessed a couple of the songs, and we're re-recording and tuning some things up for a much wider audience, but still keeping our sound. I want to definitely point that out. We're not like caving and going pop or anything. But yeah, so we've kind of changed gears a little bit now. So it'll be October, and I think the single may be out in September. But what that single is, even I don't know. So we'll see.
Well, I can tell you definitely set the bar high up with the Prophet, so can't wait to hear the rest of the album.
Thank you. Yeah, that was like a personal mission of mine when I wrote that. And what was funny is I wrote it when we came off the road in July of 2019, and I wrote it. We did the vocals, we did everything, and then we hadn't performed it. So we went into rehearsal and all kind of looked at each other like, "Oh man, how the hell are we going to play this thing?" Because it's got 6 movements in it. It's really long and it's really fast. So it's been a challenge, and it's been a lot of fun. We played a string of shows a few weeks ago just to kind of warm up and go out and do some things. We played in Delaware at a place called Bar 13, and we debuted the song, and it went over really well. So we're really encouraged.
Bar 13, that's an awesome place. They do a lot of goth industrial nights there, and that's an awesome place.
Oh, we love playing there. We usually do 1 show a year there, just because it's a little bit smaller, and it's kind of our Delaware fans and New Jersey fans and some PA fans and Maryland fans can get there. It's central. So we packed the place and we have a good time. And we played there, I think we played there June 5th. So it was a good time. And we played a lot of the new album, stuff that's not even released to the public yet. We played that night and it went really well. So we're very encouraged.
Awesome. Now, if people want to look you up online, find your music on social media, how do they do that?
iogmusic.com. We just put everything in one place. You can look us up on Facebook at Illusions OG. You can look us up on Twitter and on Instagram and all that. But if you just go to www.iogmusic.com, all our links are there. All our videos are there. If you want to get something from iTunes or Bandcamp or wherever your shop du jour is, you can go there. All roads lead to there. We just thought it'd be a lot simpler to do everything from one spot.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to what you have coming up in the future, the new album, and everybody look them up.
Thank you. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for having us on. Like I said, normally it'd be Maggie, the siren. No one wants to see me. They want to see her. But she just had surgery and she's recovering, and so that's why we're off for the summer. We really appreciate you taking the time and supporting the bands and supporting underground music. You rock, man. Thank you.
Thanks. And for everyone watching, I've linked their music in the video description, so check it out.